this is about to happen in Chicago, which is why we're having to hunker down very soon. But California has been telling about nearly 40 million people to stay home. Don't leave unless you have to for some reason. So all Californians, nearly 40 million people, have been ordered to stay at home except for when it is absolutely necessary for them to leave until further notice to help slow down the spread of novel coronavirus. Again, novel meaning new. I wish they used a little less of that kind of like medicalese,
medical jargon.
Medical jargon. Governor Gavin Newsom announced the order late Thursday, just an hour and a half after officials in Los Angeles County, the most populous county in the U.S., issued a similar mandate. Earlier this week, their Bay Area counterparts handed down similar shelter-in-place orders, the strictest measures taken in the country so far. Across the state of California, health officials have confirmed 675 cases of COVID-19 and 16 deaths from the disease as of Wednesday evening. And I want to remind everyone, you guys watching, we don't really have good testing procedures at all. So these numbers are always inaccurate. And again, even if they were accurate, for the most part, they'd always be about 2 weeks old in terms of the numbers. Behind Washington State and New York, where more than 5,000 cases have been confirmed. The Los Angeles order, which will stay in effect until April 19th, requires all businesses, including museums, malls, retail stores, and workplaces, to stop operation and only allows people to leave their home for, quote, essential activities like going to pick up food, go to a doctor, or take a walk in a neighborhood. It's weird to me that it's it's always gotten to me. It's like, oh, it's fun. It's like, don't be near people, but take a walk. Have fun. Just walk your dog. Go out and about. Yeah, go outside. It's fine. Just close everything else down. I'm sure they would be really against you having a walking buddy. Anyway, the state's order, which does not have a set end date, includes exemptions for public safety and healthcare operations, as well as essential services, including laundromats, very essential, grocery stores, restaurants that offer takeout. The most essential of service. They really need a different name because we have the same thing with essential services. They need a different name than that. But even those essential businesses will need to incorporate social distancing practices. And we were talking earlier, they shouldn't be calling it social distancing because the last thing we need is for a lot of Americans to not have anyone to talk to. And in America, of course, everything's wrong with everyone. So any choice that they make, no matter what it is going to hurt many, many people when you're talking 40 million people or any number. But even those essential, keeping 6 feet apart between individual employees and customers, officials said, which is, of course, how these businesses are designed so that you're really far away from the customer. It's not going to work out. The entire 6 foot thing doesn't even work if someone sneezes because when a human sneezes, it goes about 30 feet. But, 6 feet should be enough in most circumstances, I suppose. Under state law, violations of the order are punishable by a fine and up to $1,000 or imprisonment for more than 6 months. Now, that being said, all the jails are letting out people for things like that, so you're going to go into jail and then leave right away, I suppose. However, Newsom and local officials have stressed that they do not plan to have police handling enforcement. So there you have it, everyone. The waves are starting across the country of people being told to stay indoors, except they really aren't. They're really being suggested to stay indoors, and businesses that are essential should remain open, except most of those businesses are non-essential if you were to count the employment of those businesses that serve food are supposed to keep away from customers, even though their stores are designed to be near. So it's one of those things where I just feel like a lot of people are going to not really have that much affect them because they still need to go grocery store shopping. And I don't think the cashier is going to be in the lane next to you when they do your groceries. But nonetheless, I suppose this is slowing things down a little bit. But as a trade-off, it's, of course, going to make the recession worse. So have at it.
Looking at this, and again, we here in Illinois, recently our Governor J.B. Pritzker, has made an announcement for a shelter-at-home order as well. The sad fact is that something needs to be done, but it's too late at this point. I mean, coronavirus is out there. We here at Heartlands Media, we're going to comply with that law, and we'll be doing our show differently. But when this crisis passes, the whole world will be different. and there will be no going back to normalcy, because normalcy, or the willingness to turn a blind eye to clear failures in a system, got us to this spot in the first place. And we're going to continue pushing on. That's the Hard Lens Media method. We're going to continue doing our show here in Illinois. It's going to look different. And to the people in California, especially to our viewers and subscribers in California, all we can ask you guys to do is just be safe, take care of your loved ones, take care of your community, because we have to work together. This is a very difficult spot that we are all in. I wish things were different. I wish I could say something different. I wish that tomorrow there was a vaccine right away, but that's not the case. And we have to get through this crisis together. And I'm very sorry that this is the situation that we are all in. Paul.
Yeah, so while physical distancing from other people, I think Daniel accurately pointed out that sneezing can travel more than 6 feet. It's not a perfect system. It's not going to protect everyone. And a shelter-in-place order does not mean that you cannot go outside. It still makes room for people to go and restock items that they need for their household. It still allows people to go outside for fresh air and to get exercise. And it isn't perfect in preventing everything, preventing the spread of the disease. It certainly is better than nothing, and I think I don't want to recommend that people ignore the order. I think the order is important. I think it will do a lot of good to help slow the spread of the infection. I urge everyone to follow the laws in their state, in their city, in their township, and to follow the guidelines that are set out by the CDC. And I don't feel comfortable making light of those guidelines. Even if they are not a perfect solution, it is sort of a better than nothing solution. Mm-hmm. And I do think it will go a long way toward what we talk about, flattening that curve, which is the overall hope here. I don't think that you can reasonably find yourself in a situation where you can be isolated enough from the disease to never get it. But again, flattening that curve is the end goal. When it comes to things like grocery stores, there have been already a bit of a run on grocery stores for certain basic household items, foodstuffs like rice and beans, things that can last long, easy to cook, nutritious. And so there are some shortages here and there. I imagine as this rolls forward, you will probably see grocery stores trying to implement measures to comply with this physical distancing, right? Forcing or trying to have people stand a number of feet apart from one another, allowing only certain numbers of people into grocery stores at a time to try and minimize exposure. I think there are a number of things that people will do that will be inherently imperfect, but I don't think that perfection in isolating everyone, there just simply aren't enough hazmat suits to give everyone hazmat suits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the real truth.
I don't think that this is a useless measure. I think that it has its merit.
Yeah.
Let me also say on this that we're talking about flattening out the curve, which is basically the only thing that we can really control, which is, in a nutshell, slowing down how fast this thing transmits. And Paul's right, this will do something. The problem is America's healthcare system is such trash that, you really need it to be, super flat, like the curvature of the earth flat for this to work. Because I just heard that America, in the entire country, we have, 66,000 ventilators? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
pathetic.
not
enough.
That's pathetic. I mean, I grew up in Oak Park. That's basically the population of Oak Park plus about 16,000 people. So when we're talking flat, this is even flattening this out, even taking these precautions, it's not even going to be close to enough. In a weird way, to do this in an effective way, you'd have to go the route of China, where you have soldiers. But of course, America's not going to do that. But 66,000, we really did not prepare for this. We didn't even try to prepare. America, the wealthiest empire, the most powerful empire in the history of the world, with 327 million people, has 66,000 ventilators and is having a really hard time making more. So even if we flatten out this curve and make it nice and smooth, we're just in the super early days of this. We're expecting in a week that there's over 100,000 cases. That's already more than, well, about double the number of ventilators we have. So good job, America. You weren't prepared.
Hey there, I'm Sammy. This is my sister bitch, Kira, and we are the co-hosts of Basic Ass Bitches, which airs Sundays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time at 99 Perspectives. You can find the link below.
We like to talk about our lives and what's important to us and highlight our society's addiction to misogyny, racism, belonging, capitalism, and all of that good stuff. It's riveting.
Many uncomfortable conversations.
Yes, so join us.